Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! What's going on, Descendants and Zombies universe? Thank you so much for spending your evening with me. It is my honor to once again join you to discuss Descendants and Zombies and all things Disney and Nickelodeon related. I am your host, Jonathan Clarke, and you, of course, are watching and streaming the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs on our YouTube channel. The reason why I call it our YouTube channel is because this universe is really big. But somewhere out in this universe this evening, there is somebody who wants to watch the latest Descendants and Zombies videos that they can't find, because many YouTube creators don't understand the appreciation and the value that goes behind uploading a Descendants and Zombies video. So I have taken it upon myself to dedicate the rest of my life, even if that's what that means, to uploading Descendants and Zombies videos for the people who love Descendants and Zombies, who are crazy about all things Descendants and Zombies. I want you guys to know that I have the utmost respect and the highest respect for each and every one of you, and I want to honor your favorite stars. I want to wipe away their tears with all the criticism they face day after day, night after night, that they step onto the Worlds Collide Tour stage and gave 110 value of a performance that didn't certainly live up to the expectations of a lot of people, judging by all the reviews that were posted on YouTube. I want you guys to know that I feel for you guys, and I support you, because I think these performances of Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky were 100% valued and will forever and always hold a special place in my heart, because I grew up with these stars. I loved watching Kylie Cantrell on her YouTube channel. And if there's one guy who knows and appreciates how much Kylie Cantrell wanted to entertain and sing and dance in front of each and every one of you, it's this guy. Because I understand that Kylie Cantrell has a special place in her heart for Disney and Nickelodeon. For a girl to want to wait for a call from Disney after turning down a previous offer from Nickelodeon, it really says a lot about how far Kylie Cantrell really wanted to run with this opportunity Disney presented her with. Finally giving her an opportunity to be on reoccurring roles such as Raven's Home, Bizarre Verk. So many beautiful honors Kylie Cantrell had bestowed upon her, and she really made the most of every opportunity. Ever before she landed the role of Red, a very iconic role in the Descendants franchise, and went on to captivate millions of hearts through powerful performances of iconic songs like Red, Fight of Our Lives. Beautifully, beautifully done by Kylie Cantrell. And I want Kylie Cantrell to know that I love her so much, and I support Kylie Cantrell just as I do each and every single fan of Kylie Cantrell. So because you are a fan of Kylie Cantrell, forgive me, but I don't think you deserve to watch all these videos with criticism in them about Kylie Cantrell and your favorite Descendants stars. Me, my favorite Descendants character was Bridget. I fell in love with Bridget because of just how genuinely kind she was. And I honestly believed, I was convinced, that there was nobody more kinder than what Ruby exemplified in that movie. I know it's just a character that Disney kind of puts out there for being the kindest ever, but she really exemplified just how much kindness can really touch a person's heart. And if anything, Ruby Rose Turner's character Bridget inspired me to be a kinder person to everybody around me, which is why on this YouTube channel I go out of my way and go above and beyond the requirements of a YouTube creator to not only upload Descendants and Zombies videos, but to spread my own emphatic message of kindness. Long after I moved into this house that I found near a soda plantation and a chemical plant, that's all I ever wanted to do. And each and every single time somebody hits the subscribe button, you guys affect the YouTube algorithm, and you let the YouTube algorithm know that you love these videos, and you light up your phone like a beacon of light so somebody can find these videos and appreciate these videos on Descendants and Zombies characters just as much as each and every one of you do. And it gives me great honor to welcome more people to this YouTube channel. Every single day somebody is subscribing to this YouTube channel because they appreciate the characters and they appreciate the story of Descendants and Zombies, which is quite an extensive story. One that will never ever be forgotten, that will forever and always hold a special place in our heart. I always wanted to be the voice of the opening monologue and say, once upon a time in a fairy tale world not so far away, lived a princess named Mal who wanted to achieve her dream of being the greatest of all time. There's always been something about my voice being attached to this franchise, is it not? And everybody has fallen in love with these videos. Guys, thank you so much for that. Because being in your guys' presence to talk about Descendants and Zombies and all about your favorite characters really has become the greatest honor of my life. You know, I had so much fun this past summer talking about the Worlds Collide Tour. It was the most fun that I ever had reviewing a concert experience from Disney. Because one thing I noticed was the appreciation coming from each and every one of you, and it made my experience being a journalist for over 25 years all worth it. To get to this moment, to get to this point in time in my life where I was reviewing content that you guys love so much and appreciate with all of your heart, really means the world to me. Thank you guys so much for touching my heart with your kindness, and thank you guys so much for sharing with me your opinion on things like the Worlds Collide Tour, Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. I really love reading your guys' predictions and what you think is going to happen next in Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, because it's really an intriguing time to be a fan of Disney, really. I think there has never been a better time to be a fan of Disney because of what Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland is going to offer us in terms of a plot. More confliction with Red now having a sister is one of the many consequences of time travel is to be expected. New characters seeing their way into the franchise, which is going to be really fun. I've loved The Princess and the Frog and Encanto for forever, more especially The Princess and the Frog, because there was just something about a story about an African-American girl falling in love with a magical frog that she discovered had more behind the mystery of that frog than she expected. I really love that New Orleans musical from 2011 and how Disney really brought it to life. So seeing these characters like Princess Tiana drawing inspiration for a VK kid, seeing their introduction into the franchise, which has been a long time coming for this franchise, really gives me a reason to be excited. And I really believe that stories like Ruby Rose Turner's story is far from over, because you just kind of had Ruby there for a brief moment, but her time with the Descendants franchise left a significant impact on a lot of people's hearts, because I felt like a lot of people felt inspired by Ruby Rose Turner and drew inspiration from that character because of how kind she was. Every single night you guys will hear me talk about how I wish Ruby was here to help me build game chairs and play video games with me, because that's my way of letting Ruby Rose Turner know how much I appreciate her for how much she touched each and every one of your individual hearts. Because I think everybody's favorite character in The Rise of Red became Bridget because of just how kind she was. I really was convinced that there was nobody out there in the world that was more kinder than what Ruby was. And I just want Ruby to know that I will forever and always support her and in the future and whatever her future endeavors or future plans are going to detail. And I really do believe that Ruby is going to give it 110% with whatever she's involved with, because she doesn't want to let each and every one of you down. I just wish Ruby Rose Turner was more socially active, like people like Kylie Contrell and Meg Donnelly have more recently become. The one thing I give all these stars a profound amount of credit for and show a lot of respect to them for was because of just how socially active they've become with each and every one of you. They keep you in what I like to refer to as the informative loop, because I don't ever want to see celebrities fade off into obscurity. I have this thing where I don't ever want to say goodbye to franchises that I've fallen in love with. When Hannah Montana was at the heights of its popularity after 6 years of a high run with Disney Channel, I never wanted to say goodbye to that franchise because of the music and because of the powerful relationship that eventually became with Miley and her dad and Miley and Emily, who never really did see eye to eye when Hannah Montana first kicked off and got off the ground. But they had a greater appreciation for each other by the time they finished up the wrapping up of the show, and I just never wanted to say goodbye to it. So too did I never want to say goodbye to High School Musical, and now 15 years later, I think that's been how long Hannah Montana's been off air, I really don't want to have to say goodbye to Descendants and Zombies. So what I try to do with these videos is I try to keep these franchises alive emphatically for as long as I possibly can for each and every one of you, because even though it's been said that forever has no chance of ever happening for any of us, I wanted to try to keep that alive and that hope alive for everybody with the power of these videos, because I too found time in appreciating these characters for the story they told. And because I love a good fairy tale, and I never want to see a fairy tale end, and I think there are infinite numbers of chapters that can be written for fairy tales, for those of you who have never studied fairy tales. And I've studied fairy tales all my life, that's the thing. So because I've studied fairy tales all of my life, I came away with the study of fairy tales with a greater appreciation for what fairy tales could offer to franchises. And I really believe that with the infinite number of fairy tale characters yet to see their introduction into the Descendants franchise, I think we can go above and beyond, and we can make these franchises last for just a little while longer. I mean, 10 years, a lot can happen in 10 years, and we have seen the best of them come and go with this franchise. Cameron Boyce, Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson. But I think there are still so many memories for us to create. There are still so many people to fall in love with these franchises. And what better way to fall in love with these franchises than by watching these videos that I've archived for you on this YouTube channel? Because I really do believe there's a certain pride and passion that goes with talking about Descendants and Zombies. And when you show up to talk about Descendants and Zombies, you not only have to show up and talk about Descendants and Zombies, but you've really got to be on point with your opinions on Descendants and Zombies, because these fans in this really big universe out there that love Descendants and Zombies so much know everything there is to know about Descendants and Zombies. And there are things you guys have told me about Descendants and Zombies that I didn't know, because you guys are some of the smartest fans in the world. So because you are some of the smartest fans in the world and you have a greater appreciation than many of us that upload these videos about Descendants and Zombies have ever had, I think you guys deserve all the respect in the world for giving this franchise life and putting the heart into the Descendants franchise. If there ever was a heartbeat for this Descendants franchise, it happens because of each and every one of you. Every single time you hit a subscribe button or you hit a like button, or you let Clarke and Freya Sky how much you know how you appreciate them. That is what means the world to me as a YouTube creator, knowing that I can upload a video about Descendants and Zombies and touch each and every one of your hearts. I never ever thought, I say this because I never ever thought that any of my videos would have such an incredible reach, but every single time I upload a video, somebody never fails to hit my like button, or I never fail to touch somebody's heart, and that is exactly what I want to do. My intuition is becoming fulfilled more and more every day, because I'm having the honor of meeting more and more Descendants and Zombies fans each time I upload a video. Because I know how it goes. On your phone and on your tablet every single night, you're searching up Descendants videos that you can't find, that you want to have time to appreciate, but because people aren't uploading the videos the right way and talking about Descendants and Zombies with meaning, it's really hurting a lot of people. And I want to let you guys know that my heart goes out to each and every one of you. Today is International I Love You Day, and honestly, guys, I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you, because in all honesty, without you guys, this YouTube channel would have no subscribers and no views, but you guys really give it meaning and give it purpose by every single time that you hit the subscribe button and you hit the like button. I always wanted to fall into a niche that would be forever supportive of the videos that I would upload to this YouTube channel. I never ever thought it would come in the form of Descendants and Zombies. And talking about a girl like Dove Cameron, who I was very fond of over a year and a half ago, because I was uploading a lot of Dove Cameron videos at that time, but I never expected my videos to be blowing up with over 1,000 views. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel, because in all honesty, I don't know where I would be. I probably won't be one of those Twitchers streaming video games and playing the latest episode of Crash Bandicoot or Spyro the Dragon. And I really don't want to have to do that, because there's a lot of difficulty with me doing that. And I really would rather sit here and talk about Descendants and Zombies with you guys for the rest of my life, if you're cool with that. Because I think you really wanted a voice of Descendants and Zombies. You wanted a podcast of Descendants and Zombies for a really long time. And it's beyond me why Disney.com does not upload a Descendants podcast for you at least every Tuesday. If they can upload a Marvel podcast every Wednesday night off Marvel.com and put 5.2 million behind it, I think they can do it for you guys with Descendants and Zombies. Obviously, they've left that responsibility up to yours truly, which I have no problem doing. I just think that Disney really needs to recognize its fans of a franchise that have been crying out in popular demand for more conversations about their favorite stars like Freya Sky, Kylie Control, because even the PR has become very limited. It's an extreme rarity that we see people like Kylie Control and Freya Sky doing things with an open heart and an open mind, because they're afraid of what they can't say and getting in trouble with the Disney company and the social media department. Which is why I give you my word that if I become the president of Disney, I will do something with the social media department if I don't fire every single one of them. Because I think that creative freedom is something that is of the essence with these Descendants of Zombie stars, because they are incredibly talented. And if you deprive them of having creative freedom, you don't really allow them to broaden their horizons, because they're under so many restrictions. So I want to sign an executive order to have all these restrictions lifted off your favorite stars, because it's one thing to be faced with criticism off a performance less than 24 hours ago that you gave for the Worlds Collide Tour. But to have to go home in tears and then be faced with all these restrictions day after day, because it's a job, it's an occupation that you wanted to achieve more than anything else in your lifetime, and then you come to realize you're under all these restrictions. It's almost like you're living out of a box with Disney, afraid of what you can and can't do. And I've always wanted to do something about that. So I give you my word that if I become the president of Disney, I will make sure that I lift this. I will make an executive order where I will lift all these restrictions, so all these creative freedoms can be bestowed upon your favorite stars, because they are overflowing with talent. They are the most incredibly talented cast that I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of very talented casts ever since at least 2012. When shows like iCarly and Victorious were at the heights of their popularity for Nickelodeon. And then after I saw the darker side of kids TV, I lost all respect for Dan Schreiner and his creative direction for the Nickelodeon company because of how he treated them. I thought that the cast of Victorious was the most incredibly talented cast that I ever saw. Victorious, Ariana Grande, Eli Thomas, Daniel Montier, and they really brought the best out of everybody they work with. And Victorious went on to become the most popular kids TV show, I believe, of 2012 at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. And it got me to thinking about how, about 15 years later, here comes Descendants with such a powerful cast, and such an iconic cast that people have been able to identify with, that has touched the hearts of millions of fans, that people have drawn inspiration from. So if there ever was a conversation about who should go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time, for sure it's the Descendants cast, and I fully support that. And I will give them the reward. I will give them the reward for being the greatest of all time, because I really do believe that they should go down in history of being some of the greatest of all time. I say that because I've always wanted to go down in history for being the greatest of all time, and I've had a fear of being forgotten about for all of my life. All I've ever wanted to do was be heard and be seen and be taken seriously on a YouTube channel, and I had the opportunity to do that because I touched your heart with my videos on Descendants and Zombies, which has become the greatest honor of my life. I love being a YouTube creator. It was never about being on the YouTube partnership program or qualifying for monetization opportunities or streaming video games on Twitch for me. It was just about being on YouTube and me loving being on YouTube, to have the honor to talk about my passion for Disney and Nickelodeon. That's why in my description for every video I say that you'll have a greater appreciation for Disney and all things Descendants and Zombies after you watch one of my videos, because I go above and beyond the requirements of every YouTube creator to be here for each and every one of you, even if that means for the rest of my life. Because a lot of people just watch a reaction video for Descendants and Zombies and watch Descendants for the first time, never having watched Descendants or knowing anything about the franchise to begin with. I saw one reaction video a while ago where somebody actually paused the Descendants movie, watching it halfway through because they didn't understand the concept of it, and they had to Google something about Descendants and Zombies. And I became very frustrated about that. I think that if you're showing a video about Descendants and Zombies on YouTube, at least have the respect for the fans of Descendants and Zombies that know everything there is to know about Descendants and Zombies, because that's why you're getting so much bad feedback. It's because you don't know the first thing about a daywalker and a vampire. And anyone who knows the legacy behind vampires, you should know that a vampire is a creature that exists in the nighttime, and a daywalker is a subversion of a vampire that exists in the daytime. There's confliction over a blood fruit, which causes controversy between the two groups. And now more than ever before, because of the relationship between Nova and Victor, these two characters, there's going to be confliction that will ascend in Zombies 5 between the two groups, the Daywalkers and the Nightwalkers, who are not going to approve of this kind of thing. And that's where it gets really tricky, because we don't know what kind of characters we'll see find their way into the plot, what kind of twists and turns the story will take. But that makes it a fun time for all Descendants and Zombies fans, because it will give us a greater appreciation for the friendships that we have and the relationships that we may or may not be involved in that we have yet to obtain. Because I really do believe that true love really does have a chance of existing for everybody in this world, no matter who you are or what you may be going through. And that's a belief that I've always wanted you to hold on to, and that I've wanted to offer encouragement for. Because I really believe that a lot of YouTube creators don't do that when it comes to Descendants and Zombies. They just review Descendants and Zombies for the sake of reviewing Descendants and Zombies for 50,000 views and 50,000 likes. I don't do it because of that. I do it because of you, and because I know what it's like to be you, to be excited for franchises like Hercules and Goof Troop and The Little Mermaid and Aladdin and the latest episode of a Disney show that you grew up watching. I may not have grown up in the same era that you guys remember, but I grew up in an era where Disney was fond of animation and classics like Goof Troop and Hercules, and I remember being a big fan of those TV shows, which is why I will forever advocate for characters from Hercules like Meg, Hercules, and Hades to have a greater emphasis in the story of Descendants, because there are infinite ways that you can write a new chapter for Descendants and Zombies, and there is always an opportunity to present a new chapter and a new argument for the foreseeable future. One should never buy into what the critics are trying to sell to you, because if you buy into what the critics are trying to sell to you and you buy it, then you are doing exactly what they want you to do. You are becoming frustrated with Descendants and them having a new chapter and the future of it. You're in doubt, and that's exactly what the critics want you to do and how they want to make you feel. So one should never buy into what critics are saying. I think that you should trust in your instincts and trust in your heart, because your heart is always your best friend, and it will forever and always be your guiding light when it comes to Descendants and Zombies. And I know that to be more evident than ever before by how many people are always subscribing to this YouTube channel and how many people have fallen in love with these videos. Guys, seriously, thank you so much. You know, I really wish I was the writer and producer behind Descendants, because if I were the writer and producer behind Descendants, not only would I sign an executive order to bestow creative freedom on your favorite stars and give them the freedom they deserve, removing the ball and chain that has been wrapped around their legs for forever, I would definitely write more chapters of Descendants and Zombies and keep this franchise going for the foreseeable future, because as I just said, if there's one thing that I said that has forever remained true, it is that I've never wanted to say goodbye to franchises. By the light of the moon this evening, I have never wanted to say goodbye to Hannah Montana and High School Musical, and I for certainly don't want to have to say goodbye to Descendants and Zombies, because this story is far from over. And there is such a thing as a happily ever after for everybody. No matter if you saw it in Cinderella or you saw it in Alice in Wonderland, there is a happily ever after for everybody. It's just a matter of us finding it and how we get to happily ever after and how we spend the time that we are allocated in this lifetime. You know, the pocket watch had great significance in Descendants because it appreciated the value of time, and it really put out there just how valuable and how precious time and forever always has been, because the thing about time is time always runs out. And I think because we watched Descendants and Zombies and we fell in love with these franchises, not only did we come away with a greater appreciation for friendship and love, but we came away with it from a greater appreciation for time and how the essence of time always runs out, because you should never mess with the fabric of time and never expect consequences. And one thing that we will for surely find out in Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland, something I'm really intrigued by, is if happily ever after was all written Chloe ever wanted. And we will find out next summer in July of 2026. I'm really excited to see where we go from here. And by all the comments you guys have been leaving, you're just as excited and as amped up for Descendants and Zombies as I am, even though Zombies 5 is not suggested to happen until 2028. I know that seems like forever away, but that doesn't mean that we can't get there, and we're going to get there together, and I have felt never more honored to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies for the foreseeable future, because somebody's got to be here to help you make sense of Descendants and Zombies, and I have never felt more honored to have this honor bestowed upon me. Guys, thank you so much for spending your evenings with me. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel. Hopefully some more people are going to subscribe because of this video, because I never know how much of a reach these videos are going to have. It's really a hit or miss for me every single time I upload a video, but I really do love talking about Freya Sky. I really do love talking about Kali Control, because I think never enough appreciation can be shown for them. All the dedication they put behind, all the dedication and the heart they have put behind Descendants and Zombies. It really means so much to me to be here for you guys, giving you my opinion and sharing with you my stories about Descendants and Zombies, because these videos are very different from every other review that you will find on YouTube, and it really means the world to me that I can touch your hearts through the power of these videos every single time that I upload it for you. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that, because in just about 3 nights from now, we'll celebrate the birthday of Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Sky back to back, and I'm incredibly excited about that, because I have a lot to say where Freya and Ruby go, because they forever and always held a special place in my heart, and I will count you down to Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland's premiere next summer, which I'm really excited about, and we'll discuss all things zombies thrown in there as well, because I have people who are subscribed to this YouTube channel who are not only crazy about Descendants, but they are going crazy over zombies and what's going to happen next in the story of Victor and Nova. I predict a lot of confliction, I predict a lot of new innovative storylines, new characters, and I'm really excited about it to host this show for each and every one of you. This is the unofficial Descendants and Zombies podcast on YouTube, and the most popular Descendants and Zombies podcast in the world right now, because of each and every one of you. Not because some guy streams videos out of his office every night. It's because of each and every one of you, and because of how much you love and how passionate you are about Descendants and Zombies. Guys, seriously, thank you so much. With over 70,000 channel views and over 500 plus videos having been archived, thank you guys so much for making this YouTube channel the most popular Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel in the world. My heart goes out to each and every single one of you for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. Guys, thank you so much. Keep Descendants and Zombies in your heart for the foreseeable future. Life really is sweeter when all of us are. Stay calm and zombie on, everybody, as we keep this conversation going for just a little while longer into the foreseeable future.